Ladies and gentlemen, we are winning. We are winning the most important fight. And you know what that fight is? Informational warfare. We are winning the information front. People are no longer, number one, not falling for the BS and looking at the ratings of mainstream news media shows us just that. But number two, everything we said that they did in 4 years ago, not only were we correct, but now we have evidence. And I am sitting on undercover footage, evidence of Atlanta, Georgia, poll workers, election commissioners admitting exactly what it is that they did in 2020 and how the numbers for Trump look so big for 2024 that they don't think they can pull off 2020 again. Because if we all remember, Georgia was actually the state where Biden's margin of victory was the smallest across the entire country. Less than 0.03 points. So he barely won. Ladies and gentlemen, as soon as you are in, please make sure to give the video a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed. Leave a comment letting me know what state are you voting for Trump from. I'm gonna walk you guys through some stuff I've gathered in the last few days. I'm gonna walk you guys through information from state to state. I'm gonna show you footage of why I have more hope for 2024 than 2020. We actually are in a better position right now than Trump was in 2016. Right now, Trump is in a better position than he was in 2016. I'm going to show you footage. Now, first thing I want to say is Steve Bannon is home. Steve Bannon let's celebrate together. Steve Bannon returns to the war room. He comes out fighting. So he was released this morning and he's already doing his war room, right? He's right to fighting. He's right in the fight. He's going after the crooks. He's going after the globalists. Praise God, he's home fighting the good fight. Now, here's video we're going to be watching. It is Joel Cardwell, Director of Operations, Coalition for the People's Agenda, Georgia. He is an election official. In Fulton County, he runs elections. Not only that, in 2020, he was in charge, and he's on this undercover date. He doesn't know that he's on a date with an undercover journalist. He has a little few drinks and starts spilling the beans. He explains exactly what happened in 2020. He's like, it's funny. We got caught. He actually says we got caught, but the judges just refused to do anything. He actually says it. We're about to watch the video. Ladies and gentlemen, as you all know, and I keep talking about this, I have partnered with VERITY Metals to help protect the patriot community of the financial crash that I believe is coming. We got bankers who say it, financiers who say it, and a lot of prophets are saying, whether Trump or Kamala wins, there's going to be a financial collapse early next year. Except if Kamala's in the White House, it's going to last a decade. If Trump is in the White House, it's going to last 16 to 24 months. God is going to give him the wisdom and understanding of how to get us out of it. VERITY Metals is a patriot-owned, non-commission-based sales-owned company. Matthew is a very good friend of mine. He'll give you the best deals. He has some of the most best and competitive prices in the industry. And he has free silver and just great deals. You guys have seen him on my show often. He donates to the Trump campaign often. Go to veritymetals.com or call him at 480-717-9081. Links are down below in the description. I really believe in American currency. That's American Silver Eagles and American Gold Eagles. That is constitutional currency. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. You just take the dollar and you convert it into a different currency. A currency that is not affected by inflation. Actually, inflation makes gold and silver more expensive. Banks collapse, If you got gold and silver, you don't care because now you can just transform your gold and silver to any other currency in the world. There's only two companies I work with, and that is Mike Lindell, My Store and My Pillow, and Verity Metals. They do IRAs, 401ks, cash. Ladies and gentlemen, be prepared. Links down below in the description. Give my good friend Matthew a call. Mention me. He'll take real good care of you. Let's get right into it. Let's watch the video together. By the way, we're not going to watch the entire thing because there's some stuff not good for this platform. You know what I mean? I hope you understand what I'm saying. I don't want to disappear.
With the dome, they was counting on, that was the big thing here, was the counting of the ballots at the dome. It was all counting the ballots. They told them that it was a leak on the opposite side of the dome. Everybody needed to evacuate. So then when they all left, the Democrats went back in and started counting, and the Republicans went back to the headquarters. They didn't know.
You know that for a fact?
That's what happened. Yeah.
They made it seem like nothing had, like they legitimately had leak issues.
Yeah, so they had said it was leak issues. So you see them on the video putting everything, putting everything up, and they left. No, they put someone on putting stuff up, and then you see them leave. Then they was out in the parking lot when I guess they told them they could come back in. Or they was out in the parking lot and they was gonna go back to headquarters. And so the Republicans left, the Republican watchers, they all left. And so after they left, the Democrats went back in there.
That's what, hear what he said? He said they pretended that there was that water burst pipe. And so the Republicans and the Democrats, they all went outside. Oh, we're going to be flooded. Get to safety quick. And then as soon as the Republicans got in their cars and went home, the Democrats went back in there and started counting. Joel Caldwell.
Started counting, so that's the videotape. You see them when they're walking back in, pulling the shit out from underneath the tables. And
remember Trump's team playing the videos of Georgia officials going to under the table and pulling out those bins of, balloons? That's what he's talking about. They said, oh, don't worry about that on the news and everywhere. They're like, they were just there. This dude's like, no, admitting those were there to be counted once the Republicans are out. He actually goes in to talk about how out of like 20,000 ballots, only 100, less than 100 were for Trump. And even he laughs and says, that's statistically impossible.
During that hour, and then the other part was that when they were counting, I think during that hour, that stretch of that, it was only like less than 100 votes was counted for Trump.
Less than 100 votes. He says within an hour, less than 100 ballots for Trump.
Statistically, you're downtown. There's going to be more than 100 votes for Trump.
Even he just laughed and said, there's going to be more than 100 votes.
That's what happened in 2020, because that's when the ballots, and they started stuffing them ballots, and people stuffing them ballots, and they got videotape of them. But nobody talks about it. Because they want it. That's why Trump been making that big deal about it.
He even mentions 2,000 Mules. He says that he watched it and the 2,000 Mules got everything correct. He's like, they actually didn't even get everything. That's just a small portion.
You see it on videotape. It's like, we see the man pull up and put 100 ballots in his box. You can't do this. So Bruce is paying people to do just that. Drop off ballots, go around.
Yeah, we got to go from there. I can't really. Okay. Here we go. This is where he talks about. Come on. Come on. Why is the video not loading now? What if we take it to? Okay, we're going to do this. Watch this.
It was all counting the ballots. I told them that it was pulling up. I told them. No, oh, yeah, that's when I first started, so I don't know who Carter really was. Online voting, different thing, the whole thing, get it, all that they
Right here, he's going to explain something, ladies and gentlemen. Republicans versus Democrats side, and why Democrats keep fighting for no voter ID for drop boxes.
in the boxes and stuff. Normally, I didn't.
Around here?
Yeah, Metro for the mayor's race, Metro in Atlanta. So what they normally do is how they do it. You know, when you're trying to steal a race, you're not trying to, like, if you got Republican districts and Democrat districts, you're trying to get the Democrat, right, elected. What they do is they don't go to the Republican. What's up, Boston race?
So how you know they're gonna do it again in 2024 though?
Yeah, get it. All that they not
Whatever
on ballot. Oh, and harvest them ballots and shit.
Yeah.
That's why the Republicans are always trying to fight about, you know, that's the argument of the whole thing is because Republicans, they're the ones who do that kind of stuff. So they want to do like ID, voter IDs and stuff. Democrats will, you know, fight voter ID laws. So you know, so it's that too.
That's too much for this platform. I can't. There you go, a Democratic election operative admitting what they do. And that voter ID will hurt the left, will hurt the Democrats. And this is why they fight against it. But ladies and gentlemen, when Donald Trump says we have to make it too big to rig, what does that mean? What does it mean? They inflate numbers, like he just said. We inflate the numbers, right? If we're trying to get a Democrat to win, we don't go to a Republican place. We just go to a Democrat. We don't go to a Republican district. We just go to a Democrat district that's always a Democrat district, and we inflate the numbers. Those were his words. So if you're in a Democrat and you're a Republican, go vote. But if you're in a Republican area, make sure everybody who is eligible votes, that no amount of inflating of the numbers in the blue areas will get them past the finish line. This is what Trump always says when he says too big to rig. Ladies and gentlemen, go vote. Vote in person. Vote by mail. Vote early. Vote on election day. Just vote. And bring a couple people with you. Register voters. You know, I was asked this question, and this was like from a liberal guy a couple of weeks ago, and he said, well, what are you going to do when Trump loses? What are you going to do on November 6th? Because let's not forget, I've dedicated the last 4 years of my life for November 5th. I traveled the country. I've been to the border. I've been to all these Trump rally and conservative events. I actually moved to a swing state so that my vote actually matters. Like, I mean, we've done all this. And if, God forbid, she pulls it off, on November 6th, I'm going to do the same thing that I do on November 4th. Speak truth to power, fight for this country, stand up for what is right, and call out corruption. But not only that, there are approximately 50 million church-going Christians who are against brainwashing of our children, who are against open borders, who are for the First Amendment, freedom of speech, and they are pro-Second Amendment, right to bear arms. They are anti-war. They do not believe we should be getting involved in wars and expanding the military-industrial complex. There are about 50 million Christians, but they, for some reason, just refuse to vote. If they pull off what they want to pull off, I will be starting a brand new nonprofit organization where for the next 4 years, I will go from state to state, city to city, town to town, church to church, Russian churches, black churches, Ukrainian churches, American churches, white churches, French churches, every kind of church there is. to try and bring the message of why it's important for Christians to vote, bring it to them from a biblical perspective. No one's perfect, but we vote for who's more aligned with the Bible. Neither of them are going to be perfect, but we vote for the one that's at least trying to be. And I'm going to tell them, hey, churches, you complain a lot. Christians complain a lot. Oh, there's so much sin in the world. Complaining's not going to fix it. You pray. The church should do outreach ministries, and then you vote and try to get people elected. Why not? Hey, church, Christians, why not we raise up some leaders that can run for office? Why can't we take some anointed men and women of God, raise them up, have them run, have the church finance their campaign? We vote for them, we get them in. We always complain about our elected officials, but we, one, either don't vote, or we're not raising anyone up that can run for seats of power and represent the Christian values at the highest levels of society. Right? That's and so God, God forbid, and she pulled it off. Number one, I agree with Charlie Kirk. If Kamala Harris becomes president, it is because the Church of Jesus Christ took the presidency on a golden platter and handed it to her. Because if Christians voted their values, no Satan worshiping, baby chopping, mutilating the children candidate would ever win in this country again. Ever. Because we are a base of over 120 million. It's sad. But, ladies and gentlemen, I'm fired up. It's Tuesday, the 29th. 6 in a wake up until it's election day. We've been waiting for this. We've been fighting for this. 4 years ago, I had no idea how elections work, how they're run, nothing. Now America's awake. We know the process. We know what to look for. And we're going to look for it. And we're not going to just be quiet this time. So vote. Ladies and gentlemen, again, a big shout out to Verity Metals. I mean, silver right now is going through the roof. So is gold. It's a good time to protect your money. They have rolls of silver. They have, they got graded coins. And if you ask, they even got one of ones. But I've been telling people this. If you're sitting on a big IRA 401k, I believe a big market shift is coming. At least part of it should be pulled out of the market and put in precious metals. Why do I believe in it? Number one, it's biblical. It's God's money. It's God's currency. Whenever Israel obeyed God, he would bless them with gold and silver. Whenever they would sin, he would take all of it away. Number two, it's constitutional money. I believe we're going back to the constitutional gold standard. I truly believe it. I believe the system we're in right now is failing and has already failed, and let it crumble. So, ladies and gentlemen, my good friend Matthew, he will take care of you. Call him directly. That's his cell phone, 480-717-9081, or go to VerityMetals.com. Tell him Vlad sent you. Again, he's a really good friend of mine out here in Phoenix, Arizona. God bless you guys. Go vote. Bring your friends to vote. Get everyone to vote. Trump 2024.